All right, so our very last video, what we're going to do is we're going to do her eyebrows. So we're going to do very similar as we have in last ones. We are going to make a selection, and then we're going to take our brush and we're going to go through and add feather, just kind of very similar to what we did in the eyebrows, or eyelashes, excuse me. All right, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to get a blank layer. I'm going to rename it brows. And then I'm going to get my pen tool. So right here, again, you may get frustrated. You may not. Don't stress out. This does not have to be perfect, okay? So I'm going to make a selection. I'm going to drop my first anchor point, depending on how you like eyebrows. It depends, I think, on generation, on how eyebrows are done. We don't want to add a whole lot on these because it will look really obvious. But just kind of enough on each one. All right, so I have that selected. I'm going to go up here to selection, and we're going to make that 1, 2 pixels. It doesn't matter. And say okay. And then now I'm going to Command J. Oopsie. I'm going to have this selected, and I'm going to go to Command J. I'm going to trash that empty brows layer I made. Sorry, guys. So this is going to be my right brow. And then I'm also going to select that original layer, get my pen tool still, and I'm going to go through and make a selection for my left brow. Now I'm following very closely to what her natural lash or brow line is. Do you have to do that? Nope. You can go however you would like it. Try to make it look semi-realistic though. On there. All right, selection okay. Command J, that's going to be our left brow. All right, now that we have each of those selected, we're going to go through with our brush tool. And we're going to open up our modes. Okay, we have a 30, Shape Dynamics is still at 30. Okay. I think it's kind of similar to where I want to be. So I'm just going to, now since I am only on this layer, okay, I am going to just select the right brow area. If I just select the massive overall area, it's just going to give me that brow. And I just like to work with it in this, with it selected like that, just so that I'm not drawing extra stuff outside. All right, and so you're just going to kind of go through, and you'll get a sample. If if the color you have active is not kind of what you're looking for, you can get a resample color and find it just like we did each time using the eyedropper tool. So I'm just kind of filling in, shading here. Now y'all's generation is more on team all the brows. When I was little, we did not have all the brows. It was very skinny brows. It was very odd. Which I'm sure you guys have all seen the early 90s brows. They were interesting, to say the least. Okay, so I think we've done enough on her. This last one's maybe a little off, but it'll be all right. Okay, so now I'm going to click on left brow. I'm going to Command D and deselect. And then I'm going to click on left brow, get my quick selection tool again, select the area, get my brush tool, and I'm going to go and do the same thing. So once you finish doing her brows, you will be completely done adding a full face of makeup, so congratulations. And this really rounds out a lot of the facial edits that we can do using Photoshop. So we talked yesterday in class about how we were able to whiten teeth. We could use the liquify tool and change the shape of your teeth, or the shape of your face in general. We could use the layers and adjustments for the teeth whitening, for dodge tool to brighten eyes, darken eyes, get rid of circles, get rid of other spots. So there's a lot you can really do with Photoshop to edit a face. So whenever we take pictures and you guys don't want us to do it because your face isn't ready, well, you have Photoshop. If it's me, sometimes I can do Photoshop makeup better than I can do on my own face, but you know, it is what it is. All right, I'm going to push Command D, and I'm going to zoom out, and we see she's got a full face of makeup on. So when we're looking at this and you go to turn in your screenshot, I would love to see as many of these layers as possible. So if you grab right here, you see you can drag that up and down. I want you to drag it all the way up, and I want to be able to see all of your layers. So one of the things that you're going to get points for is A, did you make a duplicate layer to begin with? B, did you name all of your layers? Okay, so I know what you did on each one, and I know that you know what you did on each one. And C, are they like accurate? Like, does it look right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do too is I'm going to select lashes all the way through left brow. And I'm going to put those in a folder. So I clicked on the top one, pushed down shift, clicked on left brow, and now I'm going to press my folder. Okay, what that does, they're still there. Okay, so it's still all there. They're all in a group, but this lets me do this. And you can see the huge difference that makes, okay? And that is the assignment. So the screenshot that I want to see, zoom in pretty close-ish, probably about this size for me. So it's the size of this so that I can see it right next to your layers, and just Command Shift for this area right here. I want to see all these layers. You will get credit for these layers. That's what I'm going to be looking for, as well as in your image. Did you try to make it look realistic-ish? Now, obviously, if you're somebody that loves lime green and you want to do lime green themed stuff, that is fine. Just make sure that I can tell you didn't put lime green in the whites of her eyes or over in her ear or stuff where it doesn't belong. Okay? All right, and that is it.